So hello everyone, welcome to this another video of Spring REST playlist. I'm Abhishek Verma and in today's video we are going to learn about an advanced Spring REST topic that is CORS. C-O-R-S, Cross Origin Resource Sharing. It was very difficult to remember the full form. Now the question is, what is CORS and why do we need it? So many times what happens is that we create a backend application using Spring REST. We test it with the help of Postman and we find that it is working fine also. Now, the next goal is we want to invoke the same APIs from a UI application. Now, UI can be created just with the help of HTML or it can be made with the help of Angular or React also. But there comes the reality check. Because most of the time, and when I say most, it is 99.9999% times that we are not able to access the APIs which we only created. We just keep on getting the errors. And then we get frustrated that, okay, the same thing was working with the help of Postman. The UI is also working separately. Backend is also working separately. But why they are not interacting with each other? So in today's video, first of all, we will create the same issue. We will actually try to understand what is the error message, what is the actual issue, and then we will see how to resolve it. Trust me, it's very easy to resolve it. It won't take much time. So without wasting any more time, let's directly get started and see how the things are going to look like. So now we are in the IDE, and before we start with our today's demo, first of all, let's do a quick recap and see what we did in the last demo number 14. For this, I will go here, then I will go to this UML diagram, and here you see that it was a very simple UML diagram because there were very few classes here. So first of all, let me just scroll a bit here. So you see I was having a demo class here, which was as always a very simple class. But in today's demo, we are going to do some more interesting stuff in this demo class only. Then we were having the controller layer. In the controller class, we were having 4 different methods. Then from the controller, we were moving onwards towards the service layer. Then you see that in the service interface, we were having only 4 methods. But in the service IMPL, we are having so many methods. The reason for this is that I was showing you different ways of accessing post, put, get, as well as delete APIs using REST client. Then besides this, we were having custom exception, controller advice, the REST client config, and the DTO classes. And that's it. So first of all, let me just quickly show you what was there in the REST client config. So I shown you that using this, we can create the bean for the REST client config. And then if we go to this particular service IMPL, then I was showing you that how you can make usage of REST client in order to invoke the APIs, which maybe you have only created in some another application, or maybe someone else has created. So the only thing which you need to do is you need to say REST client. Then depending on your API, you can say post, put, get, patch, or delete also. Then you need to provide the URL which you want to invoke. Then in case you want to pass a body, so invoke the body method. In case you want to pass headers, invoke the headers method. Then obviously you will be saying retrieve. Now, if you will say body, so you will get the direct output as it is the integer. But if you will say to entity, you will get the output embedded within a response entity. And you can work with the headers as well as the status code. In case there is no output, you can directly work with the toBodyless entity method. And that was very easy. So yeah, that was the only thing which we learned in the last demo about REST client. Yeah, and this was easy. If you want to learn in more details, you just need to watch the previous video. Now let's start with our today's demo. So in today's demo, first of all, there is no big change in the pom.xml, and trust me, it's very, very simple. We are just having the starter dependency, web dependency, data JPA, MySQL, Lombok, and Mapstack. That's it, nothing much. And then if we go to this controller, so here also nothing much, just 2 APIs. And trust me, you have already seen these APIs in the previous videos also. So the first one is find all owners, which is just going to provide you the list of all the owners. And the second one is get owner details as page. So here we are accepting a page object, and in the output, we are returning it as a page. So the details we have seen in the pagination demo also. Yeah. Then from here, we were simply going towards the service, then repository, and so on. Nothing much. And this is how our demo class is going to look like. Now, why I'm specifically showing you this demo class? Because today we are mainly going to make changes in the controller class and the demo class. And that's it. There is no change in pom.xml or the resources or anywhere else. They are just simply same. Yep. So this is the thing. And as of now, I'm not starting this, but before starting, I want to show you something more different. So what we will do is we will go here, and this is how my workspace is looking as of now. So whenever you are also going to download my demos from the GitHub, and then you will see the workspace, you will be able to see maybe all these demo or maybe even more demos also, depending when you are downloading. So demo 15, I have already shown you there that it's not having anything much, just two APIs. Let me show you this demo 15b. So in demo 15b, this you can say this is basically our UI. Yeah. So if you wish, I can show you it with the like what is there in these particular files also. Yeah. But as of now, let me just simply open this particular one. So what I'll do is I'll just double click on this and I will open it here. So this is how it is going to look like. So as you see, just a very simple UI. So on the top, it says pet owners list. Then currently it says that, okay, it is failed to load data. Please try again. This we will see why it is so. Then here you see we are having a footer, and these are all my different social platforms where I request you to connect with me. And we said this another interesting thing. You may feel that, okay, Abhishek doesn't know much about the UI, but still I have added this particular one also. So you tell me which one is looking more better, light theme or dark theme. My favorite is dark theme here. Yeah. So this is the thing, but currently it says that, okay, it is failed to load data. Please try again later. So let me show you here also, first of all, in the code a bit that how it is going to look like. So we will try to open it using Visual Studio Code. Okay. So for UI apps, I generally go for it and it has opened in my another screen. So let me just do it something like this. And yeah, now I guess it is clearly visible. If not, let me just increase the size. So this is how it is going to look like, guys. So here you see that it's a very simple HTML file only, having a header, having a body. Then the CSS part is in some different file. And then here what I'm just doing is I'm not doing anything much. Okay. The point is the internal things are within the JS file. So we need to go to that particular one also. So let me go here and here, let me just show you this one. Yeah. So again, for this one, I will try to open it using this. Yeah. So here what I'm doing is I'm actually invoking the URL of my backend. That is localhost :8080/owners. So this is what I'm trying to invoke. And in invoking this, I should be getting my output. That's it. Nothing much. But what we saw was that we were not able to see any kind of output. And instead it was saying failed to load data. Please try again later. So the question is, why is it so? Why is it not working? So for this, we can go to this Postman first of all. And here, let me go to this demo 15. Here I'm having both the APIs. So here also we are having the same URL. So first let's try to click on this send. And here also we see the same issue that, okay, connection refused and this is the thing. But why is it refusing? The main reason is that I have forgotten to start the application. So let me just go to my application and it is going to look like this. So let me just simply go here and let me start. So here now I'm starting the application and yeah, it is how it is going to look like. So let's see. And it is working fine. So let me just clear it. Yeah. So let's again go to this Postman and let's again click on this send. So you see now we are getting the output. So here we are getting all the 72 owners. Okay. And just, I mean, let me show you this second one also. So here, this is my pagination API. So where we are saying /owner/details and other things you can see, we are directly able to pass with the help of request param. So currently we are on page number 0, which is our first page, default size is 5. And I wish to sort it by last name on the descending order.
Yeah. So let me just click on this one, and you see here also we are getting the output. And since we are not saying it as a list, instead we are returning a page. So we are getting these extra details also, like pageable and all these things. We are getting whether it's a last page or not, total number of elements, total number of pages, elements per page, and all these details we are getting. But that was not the main point. The main point was that as of now, we need to access it from the UI. So let's go here and try to refresh the page. So, okay, this one is still not working. What's the issue here? Trust me, it was working earlier because at that time I was testing with my test demo. So, in order to see what is the issue, what we need to do is we need to click on inspect, and here let's go to the console. So the moment we go to console, here you see we are getting some issue. Yeah. And this issue, I'm not see whether it is clearly visible or not, or let's see if I can increase the size. Yeah. This is how I guess now it is looking much more better. So here it says access to XML HTTP request. So it was basically trying to access the URL. So that means my URL wasn't wrong. From origin null. So here it was trying to access, it says the origin is null. So, but why the origin is null? I'm trying to access from this. So this also we will see. It says origin is null, has been blocked by CORS policy. That is CORS policy, which I told you in the starting also. Yeah. And it says no access control allow origin. Header is present on the requested resource. Yep. So there is some by default header which is available, access control allow origin, and here it says that okay, because of which it is not working. So the main point is there is some this CORS policy, and because of this CORS policy it is not allowing it. So you saw that something which was working from the postman, the same thing is not working from this UI, and this UI I have just created using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Yeah? But the same issue you may face when you will try to access it from your Angular or React application. So let's try to understand what is the issue in detail first of all, and later on we will see that how to resolve the issue. Now for that, I've created a small presentation for you. So let me go there. So I'm back with the presentation, guys, and the first slide you see is about interactions. Trust me, there are just 4 slides, not much. I'm not going to bore you, but it is going to be very, very helpful for your interviews also. For me, it was very easy to show you directly how to resolve it, but I thought to show you for your interviews. Yeah. So till now, we have seen that, okay, this is how it is a Spring REST server. So here you see that our application is running on localhost 8080/owners. Okay. And this is a Spring REST. Okay. So I have just taken it as a symbol. Now you can assume that this I'm running my Spring REST application in the STS. So from there I'm getting this server, and there I'm running, and it is running on this particular URL. So when we started this particular playlist, if you remember, first of all, I shown you with the help of browser. So in the browser, I gave this URL directly, and then browser made a request to the backend application, and it got some response also, and hence it was working fine. And this was the number one thing when we started this particular playlist. Yeah. So this was working and there was no issue when we were directly hitting the URL. Now the point is, if you are directly going to hit the URL, you are not going to see any kind of UI. Instead, you will just see a JSON output. By default, it is JSON. And in case if you have made it as XML, then you will see the XML output. That also I have covered in some other demo. Yep. Then after this, next thing was the Postman. So in almost all the videos, I'm making usage of Postman as a client. And with the help of Postman, we were also able to access the APIs. Now, the only issue is that using browser, you can only access the GET APIs. But for other things like post, put, patch, and delete, you need Postman. So with the help of Postman, we were invoking the URL and we were getting the output. In today's video also, you have just now saw that with the help of Postman, when we were clicking on the send button, we were getting the response. So this was also working fine. Then in the previous demo, and before that particular demo, previous demo, yeah. So there, what we did, we created another Spring REST application, and that was running on localhost 9090/customers. And from there, we were accessing the owners. So we were able to interact, we were able to do the communication between two different applications. First of all, using REST template and then using REST client. Just now the recap I gave you in the starting of this video. So that was also working. So we were invoking, we were getting the response. Yeah. So all these options were working. And then we thought that, okay, if these things are working, then the only thing left is that, oh, now let's try to do it from the UI. Now, when we were trying to do it from the UI, now since I'm not good in the UI, so what I did is, instead of making some project using Angular or React, I just made a simple project using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Yeah. And this is where my index.html was located. There was a D drive, within that there was a workspace folder, and there this index.html was located. So from there, I invoked the same API, but to my surprise, I didn't got a response. Instead, I was getting some CORS policy error. That's why you see this is red in color. Now the question is, why this was not working? I mean, almost each and everything was working. And both the things are in my machine only. I mean, they are in my laptop only. The backend code is also in my laptop. The front end is also in my laptop. So it's not a case that I'm trying to access it from somewhere else, maybe some other machine, or there is some security or any other kind of issue. It's just a simple thing. Okay. So why was it not working? Let's try to understand. So the issue which we saw, the main word was the CORS policy. So you just saw it was saying blocked due to CORS policy. Let's try to understand what it is. So CORS means cross origin resource sharing. Okay. This is basically enforced by browser only, which means it will come into the picture when you will try to access the backend with the help of your browser. Okay. And that means not only the browser, but when you are going to run some kind of a web page, some kind of a UI, and there you are going to access the APIs. So that means if you're directly going to mention the URL of the backend, you will be able to see the output if you are allowed to do so, something like this. Okay, that was not that much difficult. But if you are running a web page in your browser, then automatically it's a security policy which will be enforced. Okay. Which means that so that you cannot make a request to the different origin. Now the question is, what do we mean by different origin? Like, one thing we understood, that why this issue was only happening when we were running UI in the browser, because it will come into the picture at that time only. But what do we mean by different origin? My backend is also in my machine only. My front end is also in my machine only. So what is the meaning of the word origin here? Trust me, this term keep on keep on haunting me many times. Okay. So when we say origin here, so origin is defined by three things basically. Generally, we may feel that, okay, origin just simply means from where the request is coming. Okay. And in this case, basically, the request was coming from my laptop only. It was going to my laptop only. Okay. But there also, if we go in more detail, origin basically comes with protocol. So first of all, it will check whether it is HTTP protocol, whether it is HTTPS protocol, or whether it is some other protocol like file protocol or something. Now you will say, what is this file protocol? So the moment you just double click on your HTML file and it simply opens up in your browser, then basically it is a file protocol. You are not running your HTML on any kind of a server. You have just opened your HTML code in some different format of a view. That's it. It's not any kind of a server or any other place. Okay. So that's why it's a file protocol. So it says that generally your protocol is a part of origin. Now try to understand how it is a different origin. My backend was with HTTP. So it was HTTP, but my UI was with the file protocol. And that is one of the reasons they were of different origins. Second is obviously host. Okay. So in case if you will say that, okay, Abhishek, what if our protocols are also same? Somehow we were able to make it as HTTP. In that case, so then the host is going to be your local host. Okay. So that will also come into the picture. Obviously, since I'm running in my machine only, so it will be local host. But many times what happens is when you try to run your Angular or React app, then instead of taking localhost, they start taking some other term, okay, like 127 or something. Although that also means localhost only, but then also it is considered different. So localhost is equal to localhost only, 127.0.0.1 is equal to that only, okay. So that host also comes into the picture. Generally that issue happens when you run Angular or React code. And the next thing is the port number. Okay, so my backend was on 8080. My front end, let's say if you are running Angular, React, or something, obviously you are going to change the port number. You can't run it on 8080 because there your backend is running. So you may go for some 9090 or any other kind of port number. So there your port number is going to be different. In my today's scenario, protocol was different because I was just simply running the HTML file. So that was a file protocol. But if you will run one Spring REST and another one as Angular or React, your port number is obviously going to be different. So that's why it is a different origin. And you can't make both of the port numbers the same. Like it's not possible that on 8080 your backend is also running and front end is also running. So that's legally not possible. Okay. So that is the meaning of origin. So this came into the picture, and that's why we say that CORS prevents the JavaScript. So basically what CORS is trying to prevent. So we understood that, okay, it was a different origin. This is the meaning. Then we understood that, okay, it is enforced by browser only when you are trying to access the backend from the UI page. Okay. But then this prevents JavaScript running in the browser. So what happens is whenever you try to run any kind of UI, because even when I say it was just an HTML page, within HTML, a JavaScript was embedded. And using that, I was able to invoke the backend API. So whenever your JavaScript is running in the browser, and then it is trying to access a resource. See, everything is a resource only. Spring REST, we started with the term resource only. So when it tries to access a resource on a different origin, your UI was with file, but your backend is with HTTP. So whenever it tries to access a resource with a different origin, then by default, CORS headers will come into the picture, and hence they are going to block the thing. So it's a kind of security policy. Okay. So that's why these things happen. So now in case if instead of these HTML, CSS, JS, if you will say, what if we make usage of Angular or React? There also somewhere you will be making usage of JavaScript only. Angular and React are just kind of like a frameworks. Okay. So they are a framework using which you can make better applications. Not like me that just you made few files and it started working. That's the same difference between Java and Spring. Okay. So this is the thing. Now I hope you understood, but still this was just about definition. You will say that, okay, Abhishek, you just went through the definition. Can you just try to explain it with the help of UI, with some animations that, okay, why this CORS policy? I mean, why was it even required? It was able to work directly. Then what happens in JavaScript? Because obviously only we are running. So then why is this kind of an issue? So now let's try to understand, why do we need this policy? Or why this policy is by default enabled in all the browsers, which stop the JavaScript from automatically accessing any kind of backend. So first of all, this is me, the user, and let's say that I wish to check my account balance from this particular bank. Now I'm not mentioning the name of the bank, that you try to guess with the help of the logo and you tell me in the comments. But there the data is available in the bank server, sorry. Now they won't allow me to directly access the bank server, saying that, okay, since you are a Java developer, so you should be able to access. That is not going to work. Instead, I need to go with the same path like others are going. So I need to go to their bank website. So I will go there, then some things will go to their bank server, data will come back to the website, and they are going to show me. So this is how the things are going to work. Then I will see that, okay, since I'm having some money available in my account, so let's try to buy a new mic for these videos, or let's say some other kind of tool, okay, some other kind of hardware, let's try to buy. Then I will go to Amazon, and there I will start searching for this mic and something like this. Then I will see that, okay, these mics are very, very costly. So if these mics are very, very costly, again, I will check my account. I will see that, okay, I'm not having that much amount of balance. Or the other thing is that, okay, I'm getting this mic for the videos, But you guys generally don't watch my videos. So why should I spend my money, which I'm getting from the company, on this mic, which you are not going to watch later on? Okay. So what I will think is I will try to find some kind of coupon codes with the help of Telegram groups or the WhatsApp group or something like this. And somehow I will be getting a link. And that link will say that, okay, click on this link and you will be getting 50% coupon code, 60% coupon code, or something like this. So what I will do, I will obviously click on that free gift website or that particular website, which is going to show me the coupon code. So the moment I will be clicking on that particular link, a request will go to that particular website. Then the very first thing that website will show me, not the main data, but it will tell me that can we access your cookies? And generally what we do. So generally all the websites are going to show you that, okay, can we access your cookies? There are some options also. Are we allowed to only access the default cookies, or do you want to see which kind of cookies we can access? But what happens is that generally when we see something like 50% discount, something like this discount, we don't go in those many details and we directly say that, okay, you are allowed to access all my cookies. I don't care which all cookies you want. I just want the free coupon code. So the moment I'm going to allow this, so in the UI, they will show me the coupon code. Now it may or it may not work, but in the backend, what they will do is they will get all the cookies which are available in my browser. And at that point of time, I was already accessing my bank website. So those cookies are also available in the same browser. So from there, they will be getting the cookies of my bank. So that is going to happen. Now, this free website is having the cookies of my browser. Now, generally in those cookies, what is available? The authentication code and all these things. Because it's not going to be the case that each and every time you will call the bank server, so you need to provide the username and password. Instead, there will be some authentication code, and that particular token is by default saved in your website as a cookie for some amount of time. Now, these website got the access to that particular thing. And then they will try to access your bank server on your behalf. Obviously, they are not going to tell you that we are doing something like this. Okay. But then the moment they are going to do so, bank server is not going to allow them saying something like this.
Oh, hi. Wait a minute. Who are you?
So now you tell me in the comments whether this policy was helpful or not from saving you from such frauds. Yeah, I hope you are going to tell me yes only. Now, if that is the case, then let's try to understand where we should modify the code, because currently backend is also created by us as well as the front end is also created by us only. So one option is, should we make the changes in the UI? Now, if that is possible, then that means that particular fake website is also able to make those kind of changes. Yeah. So that means it's not a good option. And then the another option left is the backend. So this means that we just need to make some small changes in our backend code so that this UI is able to access that particular backend code. I hope the issue was clear to you, that why this course is an issue and why it is not basically an issue as such, but it is helping us only, like a normal person, those who are not even developers. Yeah. But for the developers, let's try to understand how to resolve this. For this, we just need to go back to the IDE. So we are back in the IDE, guys, and now let's start doing the change. So the question is, where should we make a change? Trust me, it's very, very simple. We don't need to add any kind of dependency. We don't need to add any kind of property in the resources also. The only change which we need to do is, first of all, in the controller. So what I will do is, as of now, I will just allow this find all owners only. So I just wish to allow this one. So what I will do is, I will go here on top of this particular method, and there I will be saying at the rate, and then I will be saying cross origin. So this is the annotation, guys, and that's it. I just need to add something like this. Now, what happens is, the moment you are going to add, then by default, it is going to allow all the origins. So you can read this detail. So it will say that by default, I will be allowing all the origins. But literally, in later on, whenever you are in the production, at that point of time in the array, you can mention which all origins are allowed. Then if that is the case, you can also mention which all headers are allowed. Okay, so that also can be mentioned. You can tell which kind of methods are allowed. So it may happen that you don't want to allow all the methods like get, post, put, or delete or something like this. You just want to allow for the get. So those things also you can mention here. You can mention about the credentials and all these things. But as of now, let's keep it simple and just mention @cross origin, and that's it. And now let's see the change. So you see, I have mentioned it on the method level. So I will just go back again here to this particular one and let me again restart. So this is the thing, and yeah, I guess it has started now. So first of all, let's go to this particular postman, and here let's verify whether it is actually working or not. So here we will see that okay, it is still working and there is no change in this particular part. It's still looking same only. Now let's go back to this particular one. Earlier you saw we were getting this course policy and something like this. Now let me refresh the page, and yeah, it took some time, but now it is at least working. So let me close this particular one and show you like this. So you see, this is how my UI is going to look like. Now you will say that okay, Vishek, this is not a very good UI. Trust me, I'm not a UI developer. I'm just a backend developer. Even this UI, I have taken help of ChatGPT. Otherwise, you won't even be able to see something like this. Okay. So it's just a simple table showing us all the details. First name and last name I have concatenated together, and you will see all the details here. So here, these are the details of those 72 owners. So for the first 36 owners, you will see pet date of birth, and for others, you are going to see their place of birth. So this is how the things are going to look like. So till now, you were only seeing the JSON or XML, but now you will be able to see with the help of UI also. I mean, at least something is better than nothing. So this is the case. Now, if that is working, now let's go back to this particular one. And here, let's go to this details. Let's try to check whether this another one is also working or not. So not in the JS, but for this, I just need to go here to this details and this another URL. So this second URL is for that details API, pagination. That's why you see that here I have given pages, and I will be able to see 5 per page, 10 per page, 20, 30 or so on. But to my surprise, it is not loading. Why so? First one is working. So as you can see, it is working fine here, but this second one is not at all working. So what's the issue? Let me go back here to this inspect and to this console. So okay, it says that okay, it is calling the correct URL, owners, details, page number is 0, size is 5. So it is calling the correct, but still it is getting course policy error. The reason is you have not made all the APIs public. You have only made first API public, or you can say only course is only allowing the first API, not the second API. Second API is still having that issue. So then what do we need to do? So in that case, the only possibility is that we again need to go back here, and then first option is that I will copy this and I will mention it on the second one also. So this is the easiest possible thing which we can do here. You mention @cross origin on both these APIs. That is one option. But now you will say that okay, Abhishek, what if we have like 10 methods here and I wish to allow all those methods? That means do we need to mention on all those methods? The answer is yes. If you are going to follow this approach, you need to mention on all the methods, but that is going to look so odd. So instead of it, what I can do is I can just cut from here and I can paste it somewhere like this. Now I don't need to mention it here also, something like this, and nothing here also. So now this looks better. So now, irrespective, there are 1 API, 2 API, 3 API, 10, 100 or whatever number of APIs in this controller, you are allowing cross origin for this. And now, if you wish, you will say, no, I wish to allow only for all the get methods, not the post. So that also you can mention here. As of now, we are not mentioning. So let me just go here and let me just restart it, something like this. So here it is getting started, something. And yeah, it has started. Yeah. So let's go back again here. Let's check for this first API. So here you see it is working fine. We are getting the data of all these 72 owners, something like this. Now let's go to this second one, that is details, and let me refresh here. And now you see that here also we are getting the data. Since here we were only passing the owner ID, first name, last name, and pet name, we are getting only these many details. By default, size I was saying 5, so 5 is going. If you will say here like 10, so you will be able to put 10. But you see these pages are automatically changing. That is because of the pagination. So that pagination was providing you this extra data. So I was explaining you in that previous video also that this pagination will tell you this data automatically. Total there are these many pages, total there are these many elements, and total pages will be like this. So you don't need to calculate something like this. So here also I'm not calculating it any of the ways. It is getting counted automatically. If I will make it 20, it will become as 4 pages. If I will make it as 30, it will become as 3 pages only. Okay, and here you see that okay, I can say next, I can say next, and on the last page it is going till this 72 only. So this is how the things are working fine. So that's why pagination is also important, and returning a page instead of a list is important. But now moving back to this particular one R code. So we saw that if we will mention on the controller @cross origin, then it is going to allow for all the methods, and then we can control for which all methods, which all kind of headers, and all these things if we wish, we can do. Then comes the next question. What if I have 10 controllers? Now what will you do? On all those 10 controllers, you will mention this @cross origin each and every time. That means 10 times you are going to copy paste this annotation. And if it could have been just this one single annotation, it was fine. But in reality, when it is going to be your production code, at that point of time, it can't be that simple, because you can't allow all the origins. Instead, you will be mentioning this origin only. Okay, so then you are going to mention something like this. So let me show you. So you will be seeing here origins, and then here this one you are going to say that okay, who is allowed to access. So here you will be saying that okay, HTTP, and then it is going to be like colon, then double slash, then let me just put some kind of IP, then let me put some kind of port here, and then let me put some kind of something. Okay, so you will say that okay, only this one can access. But then the same thing you need to mention on all the controllers. And what if there is some kind of a change? You need to again mention on all the controllers. Then you also need to check which kind of headers are allowed, which kind of methods are allowed. All these things you need to mention there. So instead of it, there is one more simple way, and that is instead of mentioning on the controller level or the method level. Like this is one of the things which is possible. But beside this, what you can do is you can directly go to your demo class. And here, what we need to do is, first of all, we need to say here implements, something like this, guys. And here we need to say web, then we need to say this MVC, and then we need to say MVC configure. So this is something which we need to implement. So if you see, this is just an interface only. Yeah. So this is the one which we need to mention here. And here we will be getting one method, which I'm just looking, that is add course mappings. Okay, so this is the method which we will be getting. And you see, it is just a default method here, which is accepting a kind of a course registry. So what we will do is we will be copying this particular one from here. Let me go to this one at below of this, and here I will be saying public, I will be saying void, let me mention this method name, and then I will be saying like this. Now just to tell you that okay, I have overridden this, so let me mention this annotation also so that it looks nice. So this is the thing, but still it is empty. Now what we need to do, so here we will be saying this registry. So this is the registry, and this one, now first of all we will be saying that which all mappings are allowed. So when you will get this first option, you see there is only one method, that is add mappings. So here we are going to saying which all mappings you are going to allow. So let's say that in reality there will be like 10 controllers or something like this. Someone is starting with /owners, someone is starting with something like /pets or something. Okay, so what you can mention is you can do it like this. So here you can say that I will be allowing /owners. You can also say that okay, I will be allowing something like this /pets. Okay, so something like this. So in this add mapping, it will take one string only at a time. So what if you wish, you can do is that after this you can call the method again. Another option is that in case you want to allow all the mappings, then what? So in that case, you just mention here star star. So after a slash, mention 2 star, not 1, 2. Yeah. So 2 means that all the kind of things you wish to allow. So this we are saying, and yeah, that's it. This is something very simple you can do. But after this, still this is not going to work. Or first of all, let's see whether it is going to work or not. So we will again go back here and let me just start running it again. Okay. So now we will see whether this one is working or not. So from the controller, I have removed that annotation completely. Neither it's available on method level nor on the controller level. Let's go back to this UI here and let's refresh. So here you see that we are getting this data. And here also you see we are getting this data. So this one is working fine because by default, again, it has allowed all the APIs to everyone. But here, what it will allow you is that you can control few more extra things also. So as of now, let me just show you. So there are some more methods which are something like this. So here you can say allowed, and then you can say something like this origins. So you can say which all kind of origins are allowed. So in the origins, again, you can mention something like this, that, okay, this particular HTTP : then this particular IP and this particular port is allowed. So that you can mention. So the request only from this IP, only from this port are allowed. Otherwise, nothing else is allowed. Okay. So here, as of now, let me mention star. Or if you wish, you can just remove it. Okay. Star means you are allowing all the origins. Or if you say that, then why even to mention it? So, okay, don't mention it. That's also fine. Then you can also control which kind of methods. By default, all the methods. But if you wish, you can say it like this. So you can say here allowed, and then you can say it like this, headers. And within this also, you can mention which all kinds of methods are allowed. Okay, sorry, this was headers. So let me make it as method. So this was the methods. So here you can mention which all kinds of methods are allowed. Okay, so they can be get, they can be post, they can be put, they can be delete. So just by as a string, you can mention it. But what I will do as of now is I will just say again here as star. Again, whether you write a star or whether you don't write, it's perfectly fine. Okay, then the next method was headers. So you just now saw. So this headers is also possible. So you can mention which all kinds of headers are allowed and which all headers are not allowed. Because with the headers also, the hackers can access some of the things. So that also you can mention which all kinds of headers are allowed, which all kinds of headers are not allowed. And in case that you are saying that, okay, what if it's having some kind of security also, then you can also mention whether the credentials are allowed or not or something. As of now, since we are not having, so I'm not going to mention it here, and I will just leave it something like this. Okay, so these three methods, if you wish, you can remove as of now. Yeah, but at least this add mapping is important so that it allows all your APIs. Yeah, so this is going to work fine. And again, if I run, so it is not going to make any of the changes as of now. Yep. Because whether you mention these methods or not, it is star only by default. So if we will go here, so you will see that, okay, this one is also working fine and this one is also working fine. Both of them are perfectly fine and this code is working, guys. Okay. So this is how in today's video we saw, first of all, that what is the CORS issue, how you will be getting this kind of an issue. I shown you with the help of a simple demo. You can try it with Angular or React also. Then I tried to explain you what is the issue in detail. And at the end, we understood that how to resolve the issue. Trust me, I love this demo way because it's very simple. You just need to mention once in your whole project. But if you want a deeper control, you need to mention on the controller or the method level in order to get a more finer control. Yep. So I hope you find this video helpful. If yes, please do like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so that we can keep on growing. Thanks everyone. Bye, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.